Okie dokie. Good morning. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It is Saturday. Who's enjoying the weekend? How has your week been? Since last we saw each other, how have you been? Just tell me your tales. Tell me all of your tales. How are you? What's going on? Weezin, hello. El Ravager, hello. Daddy's Camus, hello. El Ravager, thank you for being a patron of the Hype for 3 months. I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here's your royal salute. And Weezin, thank you for being a patron of the Hype for 8 months. I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here's your royal salute. And Hype Train first thing in the morning, hello! Hey J-Post, I can't believe it's been 5 months already. Thank you for being a patron of the Hype for 5 months. I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here's your royal salute. Alright, I guess I gotta go get Thomas. Thomas! We got a train, Thomas! Vagina!
Nice. Let the train take off.
Huh? What? What? Weezin, thank you so much for those...
Let's finish level 1.
You guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Weezin, for 400 and J-Post for 100. We did indeed complete level 1. We are already 22% on level 2, and I've been live for like less than 10 minutes. Thank you so much. All right, Thomas, we ready? Choo choo. Chugga 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 choo choo. Chugga 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 choo choo. Chugga 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 choo choo. Ah, there's Fox there. Chugga 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 choo choo. Chugga 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 choo choo. Chugga 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 choo choo. Chugga 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 choo choo. Chugga 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 choo choo. Chugga 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 choo choo. Why does Thomas have arms now? I don't know. Chugga 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 choo choo. Chugga 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 choo choo. Chubby arms, Thomas. Chubby arms, Thomas. Chubby arms. I got pointed fingers. Da da doo, choo choo. Da 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 doo, choo choo. All right, good job celebrating our first Hype Train of the week. Good job, Thomas. Thank you guys so much. Suck my excellence.
Hype.
Hype. El Ravager, thank you so incredibly much for dropping 1,000 bits. That is incredibly generous. Thank you all so much for being here. What'd you just tune into? You love it? Have you never seen the Hype Train? I said that... Vagina.
Hype.
Hype. Hype. Hype. Hype in the Hype Train. Imagine that. There's hype in the hype train. Thank you, J-Post, for those 100 bits. I appreciate it. We are very close to completing level 2. This was completely... I'm gonna pull a Will here and say this is completely unexpected. Thank you so much. But yeah, how's everybody doing? What's going on? At work and listening in? Well, there's nothing to see yet, it's just my face and my jammy set that arrived in the mail yesterday. My stepmom and my dad put together a box for Christmas. I thought I was getting cookies, and I did get cookies, homemade cookies. It said, homemade with love, just for you, sending hugs, lovely mom, because she's adorable. And then there was a whole bunch of other stuff in there, like way too many things. I'm surprised. Oh, that's a big vagina.
Level 2.
Level 2? Thank you so much, Weezin, for the big vagina. I very much appreciate that. Thank you so much for this 500 bits. We just passed level 2, or completed level 2. Thank you guys so much. But yeah, I'm surprised by it. I was expecting some cookies and like a card, and I was like, cool. Great Christmas present. And there was just more. Every time I took out a box, there was just more. So I'm in my jammies. They're very cozy. I've never had a full set that was like all fancy and stuff. Hey Rippo and Izzle, how are you? Just stopping by real quick to say you're fucking awesome. Thank you so much. That's so kind. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Jammies are excellent. Upset I had to get out of mine. Yeah, I pretty much live in jammies for the most part. Unless I'm going to do my floral design job, in which case I don't wear anything that I care about because I don't want it to get ruined. But yeah, how have you guys been? How's your weekend going so far? Let's see, what did I do since last we saw each other? I streamed Heaven's Vault on Tuesday, which was excellent. We will be trying to finish it this coming Tuesday. I'll go over the whole schedule with you guys shortly. You can always check the schedule for yourself in the Discord. In the announcements channel, in fact. And so yeah, after stream, I fed myself, and I worked the entire rest of the day. I fixed Discord and voice meter things. It was behaving weird after I got my graphics card. It messed with some stuff. So I fixed it, and I redid all of the Discord channels and added a way for new people, make sure like we're not getting bots and that sort of thing. So there's like a welcome channel with the rules and Discord tips, and people can add roles to themselves. So if you want to be pinged the next time we watch Clone Wars together, there's a thing, you can just click a button and it will ping you for that. More than happy to add more roles as things go on, like, if people consistently wanted to get together to play Elite Dangerous, for example. I mean, I know we have the Elite Dangerous channel, but let's say they wanted a ping. I would be more than happy to, like, make an Elite role, and then people can add, like, yeah, ping me if you... Ping me. Fucking ping me, man! So yeah, I worked on those things, all my, like, tech stuff, and that took a really, really long time. And I also... Yeah, it was a lot of, like, just tech stuff that I worked on, and then fixing up a thing on a sponsor website so that hopefully we get more sponsorship opportunities. Did a lot of like other adult type phone calls and contacting this person, So basically, I smashed the crap out of my to-do list, but that was all I did Tuesday, and then I finished up all of that Wednesday morning. Yeah, what did I do other than that? I watched Yuri on Ice, and I think that might be my favorite anime ever. It's warring with Welcome to the NHK, which I haven't seen in a long time, so I feel like I owe it a rewatch. But it's like top 2, right? Hey Amber, how are you? Jammies all day are a nice side effect of COVID. You mean having it, or like pandemic happening and most people are working from home? You've been productive, been sleeping and watching TV. I did a lot of sleeping. I forget what day it was. Maybe that was Wednesday. There was one day where I got in bed at about 10:30 or 11, and I just stayed in bed until 9:30, and I slept for most of that time. And I was still tired. Hype train success! Thank you guys so much for the level 2 hype train. I very, very much appreciate it. And thank you guys for showing up and saying hello this morning. Or lurking. Lurking is a silent hello. It's like you walk in the bar and you nod, and then you go sit in the corner and read a book or something. And we're like, we got you. Everything being home-based, gotcha. You've avoided it so far. Fingers crossed for everybody. But yeah, I was very, very productive this week. Super, super busy. I redid my to-do list, so now I just have... I have 8 things left on my list, and that includes long-term stuff that I don't need to do right this minute. So, and then some crafting things. The only imminent thing that I need to do is laundry. But it's been really nice to actually have some free time. I started playing Animal Crossing Pocket Camp again, which reminds me I need to finish doing they have a fishing tournament going on right now, so I gotta catch the tournament fish. And then I will not look at my phone again, other than to check my TV app. I'm 2 episodes away from finishing my first watch through of the original Star Trek. That's been an interesting one. It's got some good concepts in there, and I appreciate that it was pretty revolutionary for its time. As a modern viewer, I'm just okay, we get it. They have a lot of similar themes, and that's fine for your piece of media, especially a TV show when it's episodic, to have similar themes in a bunch of different episodes. But there were 3 episodes in a row where I felt like the moral of the story was identical in a row. And I was like, okay, I get it. Just because you're on a different planet and the circumstances are vaguely different, it's pretty much the same thing. So it was interesting. A little some really nice stuff, and then some clunky stuff, but it's old. Ooh, what emotes did we get? We got a heart with lots of arrows in it. I don't know why it sounded vaguely like Tommy Wiseau there. Feel free to judge me. I'm judging myself. What do you guys have planned for the weekend? Anything fun? I'm just turning in my fish, and then I'm turning the game off, because it is a free-to-play game that I will drop eventually. Again. But I gotta get this snow globe. Give me my leaf tickets and shit. What TV have you been watching, Reason? Watched a series called Ted Lasso? Super good series for these sad COVID times. Is it leaning into it and a reflection of it? Or is it good as in it's uplifting and therefore feels nice? Alright, that's enough of that. Close. No, go away! So let's see, what else have I been watching? I have an app that tracks all my stuff. I feel like there was something I finished, but it must have just been Yuri on Ice. Profile. I watched the Doctor Who special. I've been kind of... Hasn't been the best season of Doctor Who. I keep hoping for it to go places. No, I think that's it. I finished Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I think this was like a couple weeks ago. Cobra Kai. So yeah, I did Yuri on Ice, the Doctor Who special, Star Trek, and then I've been catching up on Attack on Titan. I've got like one more episode until I'm caught up with that. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. Oh, I watched a lot of AGDQ. That was what I was like. I know there was something that I spent a lot of time watching. It was AGDQ, which is Awesome Games Done Quick. If you don't know, you can find it on the Games Done Quick channel on Twitch, and they have a website. But it's a speed running marathon for charity. So they select speed runs of games from different runners from around the world, and they put them together in this showcase of talent. And there are prizes you can enter to win. It all goes to charity. They raised over $2 million this year. I don't trust artists, they are sketchy. Why? Why have you done this? Hello and welcome, Captain Luke. Anxiously awaiting binging Expanse Season 5. Ted Lasso's uplifting. Feels like getting a hug just watching it. Oh, that's cute. Yuri on Ice was so good. And it wasn't just like the subject matter, so it was really cute. Yuri on Ice is about figure skating. Competitive male figure skating. It's only 12 episodes and then it's over. But just, there are so many little details in the animation and stuff. It's just really fucking masterful, and I just really appreciate it. You regret nothing. Of course you don't. People like to cause me pain. Pain and suffering. Yeah, I watched a lot of AGDQ, so and I would go back and catch the VODs for games that I wanted to see. I think my two favorite runs were Left 4 Dead 2. It was a solo run of Left 4 Dead 2. That was really impressive. And then Sonic Mania was also really impressive. I don't even like Sonic games, and still, I was like, good shit, man. There were a lot of impressive runs. There always are, but those were like... Zipnap! Thank you for being a patron of the Hype for 13 months! I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here's your royal salute! GDQ was rad. It was pretty groovy. Which brings me to my next topic, after I say, hey, how are you? How you doing? And now that you have been a patron of the Hype for a year, or technically over a year, you can have your very own coat of arms made by yours truly. There are the instructions. Just DM me on like Discord. It's probably better than Twitch because I will check it to get rid of the notification, and then I won't see it when I'm offline and I'll forget to do it. For those of you who don't know what a coat of arms looks like, or what ours looks like, it looks like these. So, I've made these for peoples like Aura Swap and Beautiful Bear in a Tutu. But yeah, it's just my way of saying thank you. True Snow White, Thank you for being a patron of the Hype for 2 months. I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here's your royal salute. How are you doing? Gonna be an otter for you. Read the instructions. It is Court of the Hype emotes. We don't have otters, we have meerkats. Coral Pulps, how you doing? Because yeah, it's supposed to be my way of saying thank you, but also it's a community thing. And so I want to focus on this community because that's the one that you've been in for a long time. If you reach princess rank in chat, then I will optionally make an emote just for you to be used on BTTV. I've made a bunch of them. My favorite one is this one. But like, we also have this one, and this one, and there are others. And this one. But yeah. That's my thank you for princess rank. I'll have to stop doing it eventually, because we'll have too many, but... You know, I don't even have that on my pressy buttons thing. It wasn't an on-purpose, not neglection. Omission. It wasn't an on-purpose omission, but now it is. El Ravager, what a beautiful dame you are. Stream Deck? This is Stream Puppy, so sorta, yeah. It's essentially a Stream Deck, but it's on my phone. It's an app. It also has a desktop version. But I've got the app one under my pressy buttons. What was I saying? I got distracted. We're talking AGDQ. Yeah, it was real cool. Oh, my second thing after the coat of arms, I distracted myself. Surprise, Lecta distracted herself again. And I keep doing it, was, Figure 4, I think, was watching WandaVision, and seeing there's a lot of, like, old-timey language in it. And I really like language a lot, but I was like, what old-timey language and phrases and words, like, what would you bring back into, like, common use? I was watching Attack on Titan, one of the words that they used was nincompoop, and I was like, such a good one. Nincompoop. First of all, it's got poop in it, which is already funny. What is it's just nincompoop. How do they come up with these things? Groovy is another one. I see people saying rad, and I want to be one of those people. I would need to practice slipping it into my vocabulary. Forsooth. Oh, that's a great one. Tubular. Maybe I'm reaching back even further. I mean, hey, that's totally fine. I'm down with forsooth. Whippersnappers. I feel like people use that facetiously, whippersnappers. I don't know why I snapped. Gotta snap those whippersnappers. I'm not very good at snapping. I was like, you literally just said the word. My snaps are always like really dull. Maybe I just have dull meat chunks. These are thumb chunks. This is your thumb chunk, if you're wondering. Thumb chunk. Hi. My name's Lecta. And I'm being weird. Are you surprised? You shouldn't be. Ineffable. It's a good word. That's not quite like old-timey. It is underused though, I will give you that. Curse of the sausage figgies. I know. Ori, how are you doing? I keep saying that my fingers... I have little stubby, thick fingers. And then people try to tell me I'm wrong, and I'm like, bitch. These are not Princess Jasmine fingers. I used to be really jealous of Princess Jasmine when I was little. And even Jafar had like these really long, thin, like elegant looking fingers, and I'm just like, swank, ritzy. Those are good. Crapulous, caused by or showing the effects of alcohol. Wow, I've never even heard of that one. I was a little too crapulous to register what had happened. I love it. I have sausage fingies too, it's okay. Your fingies look less sausagey than mine. Well, I have really thick knuckles. Like, if I want to wear a ring, I need something that fits over my big knuckles, and I have to get these really big rings, and then they flop around. So then I have metal fish around my finger. I don't know where this is going. I'm tired. I did not have caffeine this morning. I'm having water. So, let me go over the schedule with you guys. So, every Friday at 5 p.m. I play the Blackout Club with Will and Fiona and Kyle. And so we did that last night. Woo! But I don't stream it because Friday's my day off, and 5 p.m. is very late for most of you. So, you can watch that on Will's channel or Fiona's channel. Kyle wasn't streaming last night either. He streams infrequently, at least on Blackout Club days. So, if you want to see the whole Blackout Club experience, which is a fantastic time. I love that game. I have a great time, which is why I do it every Friday. But I decided to not try to be entertaining on my day off, and just like, if I want to be quiet and let other people talk, I can. It's wonderful. So today we're going to be playing A Mortician's Tale, which apparently is a very, very short game. So that's the first game we're going to play, and I don't really know anything about it. So, I don't know. Looks interesting. It's short. We're going to play it. We're going to talk about it. And then we will hop into my time at Portia, because I figured if it's about people who work with dead people, it might get a little heavy. So what's a nice lighthearted thing that we can mess around in for the rest of the day? Figured, why not try out my time at Portia? I've never played that before either, so it'll be my first time experiencing either of these games. Then tomorrow we're going to play Anarcute, which is a game you play like these little animals making anarchy, fucking shit up. I don't actually know. So like, I bookmark these games, and then I forget the details about them, which is how I go in so blind. So it says, Anarcute is a rampaging riot simulator, combining adorable aesthetics with huge-scale chaos, wonderful destruction, and crowd beat-em-all gameplay. Looked interesting, so we're gonna play that tomorrow. Monday is Elite Dangerous. And then Tuesday, we're going to try to finish Heaven's Vault. I'm so excited for Heaven's Vault. Holy cannoli, macaroni butt snacks. Maybe I shouldn't have put those two phrases together, but it's fine. I am super, super excited. I love Heaven's Vault so, so much. I highly recommend it. if you like exploration games with a lot of story. I don't want to say heavy story, but just like it's a narrative-driven game, and most of the exploration is linked back to the narrative, so everything is relevant and connected. It's not like wander around in an area and chop trees and like kill badgers because you can. It's not like that. But if you like linguistics, it's really, really good. It's really, really good. Just play it. Just play it. Just do it. Anyway, we're gonna try and finish that on Tuesday. Caffeine equals good. Get some tea. I don't have any caffeinated tea, and I didn't have time to make a mocha this morning because I stayed in my bed for too long. One Lung and I had an interaction with the idea last night. I know! I want to watch that. I still haven't watched the other one. I gotta watch both of those. I gotta put those on my list. Time to get back to work. Alright, Zifnab, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and that work goes smoothly. And have a good weekend, and we'll see you another time. Himola, hello. There are like 50 rules. No, there were 7. And they were simplified. You can make up your own rules, but you can also get banned. So, if you want to come in and be an asshole, you can just leave. If you want to be a part of the community, like, you should know how to interact in that space. It's common fucking courtesy. I don't understand people. It's kind of like, you know, when I go into a new space, I want to know what is expected of me. Yes, I am very independent, and I like being able to express myself and do my own thing, but there's a certain level of this is not my house kind of a feeling. Like, I do this when I go into other people's Twitch channels, you know, because I'll drop a fuck over here and a cunt over there, here a fuck, there a cunt, everywhere a cunt, fuck, shit, balls, asshole, dingus, poop. I really like to curse. Anyway, so I drop all of the curses in the land. But if I'm in somebody else's channel, I make sure that that kind of behavior is acceptable. Because I don't want to be walking into a family-friendly chat and being like, cunt! Maybe not the best look. I'm English, we curse way harder than that, fam. It's hard to curse when you don't like feel it. I'm just like trying to spout off. The Madcap returns, hello and welcome. Dingus poop. I ran out of things to say. It's very early. It's not even 9 o'clock yet and I haven't had caffeine. You please forgive me, my dingus poop. Guy at night, how are you doing? Yeah. I like to check the rules when I go into a new space. And if it's not a way that I feel like I am capable or willing to act, guess what? I just leave of my own volition. If you haven't had caffeine, I guess I can let Dingus Poop slide. Dingus Poop slide? Sounds disgusting. That sounds vile. Sounds real gross. Dingus Poop slide. I know what you're saying though. Thank you. Thank you for your accommodation of my failures. Recently made a lot of Aussie friends. It's kind of funny because I grew up with a mother who hates the word cunt, and I was not allowed to say it. So now I'm saying and using it way more, but I can't keep myself from internally clutching my pearls every time. You're not gonna go down a dingus poop slide? I don't think I would either. And then there was macaroni butt snacks. Yeah, we're just full of fun phrases today, aren't we? Sounds like a regrettable band name. It does. Dingus poop slide. Needs to be put in at Disneyland. Ew! It's where you put all your dirty children. You're like, this one's been spoiled. You just plop them, they go down the dingus butt slide? Whatever. Dingus poop slide. Like, whee! It's fun and filthy! I'm covered in feces and I'm sticky! And then they refurbish them for for a new owner. Okay. Hey, Grizzled Tech, how are you? Hope all's well. Been on your Elite Dangerous grind? Oh, nice. What have you been doing in Elite? We're gonna be back into Elite on Monday. We have been going through all of the INRA sites. So it's just these, I forget what INRA stands for, but it's a bunch of lore. So you go around, you land on a planet, you scan different things, and then it has audio logs that get sent to your mailbox, and you can listen to the audio logs or just read them and learn about what happened. And so we're following this storyline, and I love it. I love the lore in Elite. It is not easy to find. It is not easy to find, and but hey, that's what we can do together, right? Embracing PNW style. They're jammies. It's not the same. And besides, I guess it is red, so it's like kind of lumberjacky, but Pacific Northwest does not have a monopoly on flannel. And Left, thank you for being a patron of the hype for 28 months. I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here's your royal salute. How are you? How are you? Yeah. Bet all my mead points on you last night, then had to leave. I noticed I have way more points. Yes, you won. You won. I got the shape on me first. So everyone who bet on me made bank. Lord Lost and Found got over 42,000 points. So yeah, you got a lot back. And thank you guys for contributing to Movie Time, speaking of channel points. We are 56% of the way towards the Discord Movie Time challenge being met. And what that means is just if we meet it in the next 15 days, I will get on Discord and schedule a time that works for hopefully everybody who contributed. But if not, we'll do the majority of people who contributed, what time works best for them. And you guys can also help me pick what movie we watch. It was just a way to be like, hey, let's spend time together. Who's down? But like, who's especially down? So, that's the thing. Are you still there? Target lost. I refuse to contribute! That's okay. People who don't contribute are still allowed to come watch with us if we make the challenge. You're more than welcome to join us. No one is forced to use their points if they do not want to. But I will not take your schedule or your suggestions if you don't contribute, because I figure they spent the time here to rack up the points, so that's my way of saying thanks. Fabrivag? How do you say your name? Hello, welcome, how are you doing? I refuse to not contribute. Gently taps table and apologizes to it afterwards. Your Canadian is showing there, Uncle T. How are you doing? How is everybody? Did I even say hi to you, Uncle Travis? Fine, I'll come, but I'm not bringing my table. That is okay. We can all sit on the floor and roll around and go wee! I'm in a very goofy mood. Has anyone ever redeemed the 200k channel points? No. People are saving up for it. It used to be way cheaper, but it actually hurts my eyes. And I was having to do it multiple times to stream, and I said, never mind. Let's not do that. Didn't get a hi, I'm cold. Well, hello. Hi! Means you aren't surprised to see me anymore. Well, sometimes... Oh, you did say, oh, hey. You did say, you started with, oh, hey. But often if people come in and they, like, type a thing and it's not some form of hi, hello, hey, oftentimes I'll just respond to what they said and not say hi either. And my brain read, oh, hey, as in like, oh, by the way, I just remembered this thing I wanted to ask you about. So it didn't, like, register in my head as a greeting. Burst into chat like a diva. My name is Dirty Uncle Travis. You must pay attention to me and smooch my booty. Or something. I'm in a very silly mood, probably 'cause I'm also sleepy. So I'm just a goofball. Hi, 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 hello, hi, hi, hello. That's 100% accurate, just touch the butt. Touch the butt. Butt, 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 butt. Okay. I think it's about time we get into the game. Usually just barge in, but more like an autist. That's just how I barge. An what's an, wait, what, an ostis? Ostist? What's an ostist? I got lots of butt to touch, so there's plenty for everyone. That's very generous, thank you. Matako, I forget what big is in Swahili. I'm a failure. Autistic. Okay, so I read it correctly the first time and then second guessed myself. Okay, fair. Fair enough. So, does anyone have any fun plans coming up? You know what, any leisure time activities that they're looking forward to? It doesn't have to be any, like, grand plans or anything, but like, hey, are you excited that you're gonna just, like, chill out and read a book? Tell me about that. Tell me all the things. I decided not to read the Vaginal Fantasy pick for this month. That's a book club. 'Cause it's young adult, so it's definitely going to be lacking in the vaginal department. Or the sexy times department. We do read male romance sometimes. So you don't have to have vagina. Vagina? Why am I like this? I don't know. But I've been having trouble focusing on reading recently. I've been in a watching mood. Looking forward to Monday being a work holiday? Nice! Hey Jim, how you doing? Oh yeah, Martin Luther King Day. If you don't know why Martin Luther King Day is important, go look it up. He was a neat dude. Oh my god, I got laded! Oh, I also played guitar, which I just remembered because I have a bruise here. You probably can't see it because it's right between my two ribs. And it's because my arms are weak, so I press the guitar into myself so it pushes in here. But I almost have calluses back, so that's neat. Last time I saw you, there was a snake involved. A snake?
If you keep your original mind, precepts will keep it.
A snake? I have no idea what you're referring to.
The inner's mind is the mind of compassion.
People get MLK Day off? Apparently.
Boundless.
Who made Martin Luther King? He did.
This is also the real secret of the arts.
It's covered by your censor board?
Always be a beginner.
Huh?
Be very, very careful about
What?
this point.
I'm so lost. I just got very confused by chat. Yes, I found your book rather elementary and extremely lacking in voyage. But yeah, apparently it was young adult and it fell into a lot of like the typical tropes and themes. And I was like, you know what? I have other things that I could be reading, so if I'm gonna bother reading, I'm still trying to get through The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. She wrote The Night Circus, which was an excellent book. And I like it. I'm not in love with it. It feels very much more piecemeal. But I'm only about 20% through. Electabox. Oh, covers your bruise. Ah, I got you. Yeah, I was trying to... Right there. Ow. Oh, ow, ow. That actually really hurts. Goddamn it. I was like, right here. Let me aggressively poke myself in the... Ow. Hey, GDT. How are you? I had yesterday off too. 4-day weekend. Hype. That's exciting. Worked at a hospital before I moved, so I didn't get Christmas off. What are holidays? Yeah, that seems like a tough life. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would get way too invested in my patients and get very upset if things did not go well for them. Not to mention all of the shitty parts, like literal poop. More poop, like Dingus Poop Slide. 400 plus hours of overtime last year. That's awful. Oh, so people were talking about those Twitch stats that came through. Mine are all screwy, and it makes me sad. Mostly my viewer stats. I think my streamer stats are accurate. I mean, as accurate as I could tell. I'll post them in Discord if I remember once I'm done. But it said for my #1 watched channel, it said I watched myself the most. I was like, come on, man. I don't even like, yeah, my dashboard is open right now so I can see chat, but I'm not sitting in my own Twitch channel, you fucking weirdos. So I didn't actually get to see who my top 3 watched were. I only got to see my top 2 because I don't sit there and watch my own fucking content. Saw people claim it didn't cover the first half of the year. I mean, I wasn't entirely so... I was surprised that it put me watching myself as the top one. I was like, come on. There were a lot of other inconsistencies with it as well. Like people saying, I never used this emote and it was in my top ones, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, I was mostly upset that I didn't even get to see the top 3. I only got to see the top 2. Top 2 being Bad News Baron. Almost 500 hours watching Bad News Baron. I'm not surprised by that. And then Beyond the Summit, actually, because I watch a lot of Dota, and they do a lot of reruns too. So Dota's kind of like my comfort thing to put on. So if I want something in the background, I'll put on Dota. I've fallen asleep watching Dota and had it running through the night a lot. Like, I'm not really shocked that, hey, the channel that plays all the Dota is on my top watched. I guess I was surprised and I was like, oh no, that makes sense. That makes sense. But yeah, I have no idea who the actual 3rd slot would be. I'm guessing probably will. 23 out of 24 viewers are Lecta. Well, I know that. It has to have me in my own channel so that I can type to you guys, or like... But you'd think that they would say, oh, this is your own... Like, I feel like other people who posted theirs who are also streamers didn't have themselves listed as the top. Yeah, filter me out of my own stats. I also got stats for Hype Friend. Those were weird. Those were all sorts of fucked up. It said that Hype Friend has watched Tildays and Will. And I was like, that's my robot. Yeah, I guess technically the bot, does the bot get transferred to the other chat if I raid them? So like I guess that makes sense, but it was also weird. Like, I literally only log into it to resub so that Hype Friend can use the emotes. And that's my grandparents' way of supporting me, is they let me link their Prime to my robot. And that way they don't have to remember to do it every month. I was like, I'll just handle it. You're doing me a favor, so I take care of the work, you know? Like, not counting the cookware as being part of your favorite meals. Yeah. Yeah. Nightbot must be the top viewer of all time across Twitch, right? I used to use Nightbot. But then we became more sophisticated. Alright, I think I'm ready to get into the game. This has been a lovely chat, and of course we can keep talking. But I'm ready for an experience here. Apparently there's a game called Morning Dew Farms, a gay farming game, and I'm interested. Alright, so we're switching to a Mortician's Tale. Voice time, this is my first time playing. This is also going to be my first time booting up the game. So, headphones warning, this is your official headphones warning. It might be loud. So, if you're worried about it being too loud, turn your shit down. And don't yell in chat that it's loud. Because you always do that, even when I haven't booted it up yet. Donk. Oh, farts. Get away from me. 1 second, I just have to, extract this. And whatever. Put that in. Perfect. Alright, now boot it. Do-do. Shmiboo. Boo-da-boo. Do-do-do. We'll put email font size on large, highlight color. Pink was the default. Not a fan of that green. We'll stay with pink. It seems to fit the aesthetic here. GG autocomplete. Alright, so we'll have to muck around with it more precisely once we're in the game, because as we all know, the menu is not always indicative of the volume that's going to be in the game. But how's the sound? Setting screens reminds you of Doki Doki. I suppose I could see that. I think this is not going to be anything like Doki Doki, and I am pleased by that. So this is a Mortician's Tale. The runtime is about an hour. So, let's get into it, shall we? And let me know if I need to adjust the music or the sound effects once we're in, okay? September 14th, 10:15 a.m. Oh. Alright, okay, okay. Hello and welcome to our new funeral director. Okay, I'm going to say I appreciate that they break the, or it looks like they break the convention of, okay, never mind. They don't. No, do they? What order are these in? 9:22, 9:27, 5 a.m. Anyway, I was gonna say, I like seeing things in order to read them. Like, you know when you open a computer in a game, or just on your own computer, you check your email and the first ones that were sent are at the bottom? It just makes it harder to, like, gotta go back and try and read them with the... You know what I'm trying to say. Alright. Welcome, Charlie. Nice to meet you. My name's Matthew, and I'm mainly going to be the man who delivers the bodies to you and helps with some of the more heavy lifting. Ever hear that joke about a hearse driver? I'll tell it to you when I come by in a bit. Look forward to working together. I think you'll enjoy working here. Amy is a sweetheart, but she runs a tight ship. Nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. She wouldn't have hired you otherwise. Cheers and good luck, Matthew J., Funeral Director. Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. From Amy Rose. Hello, everyone. I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our new funeral director, Charlotte, or Charlie, as she told me she likes to be referred to. Charlie is a recent graduate who came highly recommended and is eager to begin her career here with us at Rose and Daughters Funeral Home. Please take the time to make Charlie feel at home within our little family. We'll have a nice catered lunch this afternoon so we can all get to know each other a little better as well. Sincerely, Amy Rose, founder and director, Rose Daughter Funeral Home. To us, instructions. Hello, Charlie. Well, you're new here, so it's probably best I explain where everything is. In your office/preparation room, you'll find your cremation station, cremulator station, embalming station, and obviously, since you're reading this email, your desk and computer area. I know you have experience working with these stations, but please let me know if you have any questions. Has anyone played this game before? Rocks back and forth in the corner holding these Doki Doki. Yeah, for real, right? That was an experience, that game. So very different from what I expected, just based on the reactions. But anyway. Time to sit with my knee up in a bad posture. Hell yeah. From Jen Love. Guess my subject lines to you should start being more professional now that we are business professionals. I love this. I can't wait to get your reply so I can see your fancy new email signature. I love that you were able to land this gig straight after graduating. It sounds super cool. I didn't even know mom and pop funeral homes were a thing until now. Guess it's just not something I really think about much. I should look more into this, learn more about your world and industry, because as I said, you are now a very serious professional. Speaking of being a professional, my museum gig is amazing. I can't believe somebody paid me to move to London, and not London, Ontario, serial killer capital of Canada, to work in a museum. Like, take that, everyone who said I couldn't get a job with my art history degree. I'll tell you more about it when we Skype. My stories require you to see my face and that you hear my excellent British accent impersonation. I also signed you up for a funerals monthly newsletter. That was horrible. That was awful. That was terrible. I feel like it fits with Jen, though. Consider it your graduation gift. I love you. I'm super proud of your gift. Love you, love you, love you. Jen L., Museum Curator, London Pathology Museum. Please enjoy my terrible British accent that changes every 5 seconds. I hope you love it. Mwah, mwah. Big kisses. See you on the telly. Okay, bye. I know, they said Skype and I was like, that's a choice. Makes me wonder, when did this game come out? Some people still use Skype, which is a weird thing. Wink wonk. You dig that emphasis? I expect to see wiggles and asterisks from you, or tildes and asterisks. Enye? These. Tilde is this one, right? I hope you use it more frequently. Wormy, thank you for being a patron hype for 40 months! I hope you enjoyed your parade, and here's your royal salute. How are you doing?
Oi, governor! My name's Deridium, and I like tea and crumpets, and I say that if you got a street urchin, I'll show 'em what for! I'm not gonna let no dirty buggers take my porridge!
Happy subversive, we still have a sleep. Yes. Skype is very slowly dying. I'm surprised it's not dead. The second that I had something else to use that was not Skype, I was like, yeet! From Amy Rose, today's tasks. Hello, Charlie. I hope you settled in okay so far. Matthew should have dropped off your first body for you to work on. He said you were really friendly, and he's glad to have someone young and lively to work with. You'll get used to his sense of humor. So they are doing it in order of... like... they're doing it in order of... if you were reading from top to bottom, this makes narrative sense. And I appreciate that. It just makes it easier to get the information in what feels like chronological order, even though technically this was sent at 5 in the morning, so it should have been at the top, but this makes sense, and I appreciate that they decided not to stick to realistic inbox for the sake of it. Thank you. Like, what game did that? I think Prey had emails. And I didn't like having to scroll all the way to the bottom to see, like, the first message, and then the reply, and then the reply, and then the reply, and then the reply, like it is in real life. Because sometimes I didn't realize there were replies, so I read the last bit first, and I was like, oh fuck, there's other things, blah, 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 blah. Yay! That yay looks like it is in a very excited vagina. Like, that vagina is so hyped. You have an amazing British urchin voice. It is one of my on-purpose really shitty accents. Let's go check out each other's live journals later. Oh my gosh. Thank you, dying. Doing alright, how are you? I'm good. Okay, time to lunch. Later! Go eat good food, Uncle T. We'll see you another time. Top posters. But yeah, I appreciate this sort of break from realism to make it just easier to get the information in a way that makes sense. Okay, where was I? Your first body is Mrs. Garcia, an elderly woman who died suddenly of a heart attack. The family has asked for a closed casket funeral, so no embalming or body preparation is necessary. The family seems a little bit more united than previous families we've dealt with. Strange how grief affects people differently. Perhaps having more time to say goodbye makes things a bit easier, if that's possible. That being said, although you will not be embalming Mrs. Garcia, I do think it is important to take the time to clean her body. No one is going to see her body, but I like to encourage my funeral directors to do this out of respect for the deceased and their loved ones. You'll find Mrs. Garcia in the prep room. Talk soon, Amy Rose. And then she forwarded special requests from Amy to Mia. Okay, so now here's a little break from that. Dear Amy, so this is from the family. We're happy to be with Rose and daughters for my mother's funeral. We understand that there are usually procedures that must be followed in these situations, but if you could kindly not embalm my mother, that would be greatly appreciated. and we will proceed with a closed casket for the service. I know she wouldn't have wanted her death to have any negative impact on the environment, and since she fought so hard to beat her heart disease and to live healthily, it would be a shame to have her final moments to be counter to the way she lived. Thank you for anything you can do to help us in this matter. Best, Mia. Dear Mia, of course, we will happily oblige your request for no embalming and for a closed casket. I'll ensure our funeral director receives your request. Take care, Amy Rose. Okay. And then from Funerals Monthly, this is what our friend subscribed us to. There's your last name. Ah! Yes. Thanks for subscribing. Each month we bring you a new newsletter featuring a topic pertaining to the death industry. This month is all about good etiquette for attending a funeral. I really can't believe we have to write this one out, but since we said we'll answer your most popular questions, here we are, because this is definitely one of the most popular questions. Funerals are a hard time, and we understand that, but here are some quick and easy rules to remember for being respectful at a funeral. Generally following the guidelines of don't be a jerk should work. 1. Don't be on your cell phone. We understand you're busy, but this is a time and a place to disengage. If you have to be on your cell phone, don't do so inside the funeral home. 2. Don't be loud and obnoxious. You can share happy stories, but other people are also grieving and working through their own healing process. Being quiet gives other people the space they might need. 3. Don't get drunk. Everyone can deal with their feelings in their own ways, just remember to be respectful with the grieving family and friends. 4. Happily reminisce. Sometimes remembering happy moments and positive experiences with the deceased can be a productive part of the healing process. 5. Give condolences. It's not easy knowing what to say to someone, but even a simple "I'm thinking of you" can go a long way. 6. Dress appropriately. What this looks like will change based on the customs of the deceased and their culture. Woo! But always dress in a way that shows respect to the deceased and their grieving family. I love that they put that. 8. Give a gift or sign the registration book. This can be flowers or a nice card, but it's the thought that counts here. Sometimes this can be even just cooking dinner for the grieving family. Anything that shows you care and want to help them through the healing process is what matters here. Be kind and be helpful. So we're going to say, sure thing, I will get right to it. Death industry just made you a little queasy. I mean, is it the phrasing? Because that is just what they call it, and I can't really think of a better name for it. There's a fantastic book that I listened to since it was nonfiction. And also, Jay Post, hello, how are you doing? It sounds like a script tie for, oh my goodness. There was, I can't remember what it's called. I'm looking for it right now. About this woman who works in a crematorium and her experiences and just like a where is it? Read books. And it's just a really interesting look into like how things work and policies and different stuff. And it was also just about her experiences from like a personal perspective as well. It was really interesting, and I'm looking it up here, and I can't... Why are these not in any specific order? I'll be able to find it, because I didn't read too terribly many books this past year, but... Well, this is not helpful. I'm not finding it. Ah, Smoke Gets in Your Eyes, and Other Lessons from the Crematory. I will link the Goodreads page, in case anybody is curious. It was really, really interesting. And since it was a more personal perspective, it wasn't like super cut and dry, like, and the urns are purchased from blah 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 blah. So yeah, here's Mrs. Garcia. Industry seems a bit, but it is though. I mean, what else are you gonna call it? Is really in the death services? It really is an industry. Did you know there's this company that buys out all the funeral homes they can, but keeps the original names, so this company can just set prices, and no matter where you go, the prices are the same. Huh. I did not know that. But yeah, there's a lot of different... There are still places that have different philosophies, let's say. Hey, Yoda, how are you doing? This is the prep room where you'll prepare bodies for burials and viewings. Because the family has requested a closed casket ceremony with no embalming, you are just going to clean the body. Click on a sponge. So I believe that this is standard practice, even with closed casket. You clean the body. I read this fascinating thread about preparing bodies for viewing, and they were like, you know, if you're gonna make any major changes, you gotta ask the family, but also, like, you don't have to ask about, like, nose hairs. Like, you can just clip the nose hairs. It was really interesting. That's it, you're done. Mrs. Garcia will be sent to Mike, who will take care of dressing and putting her in the casket. Oh. That was over really fast. It's time to go to Mrs. Garcia's funeral. You are responsible for taking care of the deceased's body, but it is also important to pay your respects to their loved ones. I was expecting that to take a little bit longer. I was expecting us to have to, like, you know, lift her arm. Like, there's a lot of care that needs to go into it. I'm really looking forward to seeing how the game handles things, and so far this has been pretty accurate based on based on that book that I listened to. Was like my third-hand information, or I guess second-hand. All right, Ormy, see you later. Got a nice bowl of fruit. There's some people at the podium. Alright, so first thing I'm gonna do is say goodbye to Mrs. Garcia herself. I like that. We just take a little moment, have our little time with her. She would have hated these paintings. She was so particular. Yeah, at least she doesn't have to see them, I guess. That's... yeah, I guess. We usually don't small talk a lot of these things. At least that's what I was always taught. I hate wearing pantyhose. My legs are so itchy, but it's always so cold in these funeral homes. I think I might actually miss those sweaters she used to knit for me now. It's funny how this is gonna make me emotional. I'm already getting emotional between the music and there's a level of realism here that I'm really appreciating, but it makes me like feel like I'm there, and I feel for these people who lost her, you know? Alright, Weezin, thank you for hanging out. I hope you eat good food. Have a good one. See you another time. But yeah, just the, like, all of the little things in the room and the little annoyances, like it's cold, she wouldn't have liked this painting, and it all leads back to her, but it's very real and very human.
Mommy, I'm hungry. When can we go?
Typical child, you know? Yeah, I heard the family specifically said no embalming. I thought it was mandatory, like required by law, but I guess not. Embalming weirds me out. Do those chemicals leach into the ground? Seems strange to be using a chemical that is known to cause cancer and putting it into the ground like that. Or into the sewer. That's what they must do with the leftover formaldehyde, right? Just pour it down the drain? At least embalming guarantees you won't be buried alive. Stop it. Don't make me laugh right now. I can appreciate a morbid sense of humor. The little coconut ball desserts on the tray. Yeah, we didn't have any tea or coffee. We didn't have any of the desserts. So we're cleaning the table. I also appreciate our tattoos. Badoo! Hope this game gets an ancient Egyptian sequel called Mummy Maker. That would be cool. Oh, I also never clicked over here. Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home, our services. Here at Rose and Daughter's Funeral Home, we're committed to providing loved ones with the best and most affordable funeral services in this area. We offer a diverse range of personalized funeral service options to fit every need. Burial with open casket ceremony and reception. It's about $6,000. Burial with closed casket ceremony and reception. $4,200. Cremation and with ceremony and reception, $1,700. Direct burial with no ceremony or reception, all inclusive. Direct cremation with no ceremony and reception, $600. We also offer custom packages to suit every budget and need. Please do not hesitate to contact us with any questions. About Rose and Daughters. Rose and Daughters Funeral Home was founded by my grandparents back in 1956. The Rose family has proudly served the area since then, providing personal, affordable funeral services for all. I'm proud to have carried on my family's business for the last 36 years, working with the best and brightest funeral directors and grief counselors in the area. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you've recently experienced a loss and would like us to help you through this hard time. I like the way that is worded. I feel this, the muted-ish colors of the room, solid gold casket, ever not sure how to feel, or very definitely feeling one way. Yeah, this has been very realistic in a wonderful way so far. Jennifer Valentine. Okay, I am so frustrated right now. Okay, so let me explain this in a bit more detail. A colleague and I were discussing the tight lacer's liver specimen we have here at the museum. It's from a woman who died in 1907, and the liver is tapered inwards from what the doctor leading the autopsy believed was too tight lacing on her corset. It's fascinating because it's kind of a controversial topic. Tight lacing was super popular, and while people associated it with fainting or hysteria, sigh, it's actually been associated with visceroptosis, which is when the organs fall to the lower part of the abdomen, right? Which is super unsettling, but can also be caused by being pregnant, so ew, that's disgusting. TLDR, corsets probably messed up some bones, but likely didn't do this kind of internal organ damage. And I'm tired of the condescension about my wardrobe that also implies I don't know what I'm doing. These are the kinds of things I specifically research, and yet I'm treated like I know nothing about. I'm having a day, Charlie. Jen L. Hart, Museum Curator. Oh, here we go, sorry. Can I just rant for a second? I'm so tired of hearing strangers, colleagues, anybody, male colleagues, get on my case for wearing corsets. I wear them under my blazer and over a nice blouse, so it's not like I'm dressing inappropriately, even though dress codes are such sexist bullshit anyway. And I hate how their misogyny just gets veiled in faux concern.
Jen, I'm just worried you're damaging your body. You know what corsets do to livers, right?
Corsets don't do anything to livers. They're definitely not hurting me as much as your condescension is hurting my head. Ugh, sorry, I'm out of sorts right now. I'll send you another email in a little bit when I've cooled off. Next job. Well, I'm going to read these other ones first. Okay. Forward from Amy Rose. Just passing this message along. Thanks for the hard work, Charlie. Hi, Amy. Please pass along our deepest thanks to you and your staff for the wonderful job they did with our mother's funeral. It was really lovely. Our family so rarely gets together. It was nice seeing everyone come out for such a beautiful service. My son never gets to see his family. Also, it was incredibly kind of you to let us bring our own food in. Getting to share home-cooked meals, sharing stories, being there together, it meant a lot. So what I'm saying is, it was nice for everyone to be there like that, together in that way. And I know how much of that was due to the work of your staff, especially your funeral director. Thank you for making this difficult time easier for all of us. Best, Mia. She's so nice. I love the corset look on people. Hell yeah, corsets for everyone. I actually read about corsets causing organs moving down earlier today. Yeah, apparently that can happen in pregnancy too, if we are to believe the information in this game, which, sure, why not? Hey there, Charlie. I was driving around the other day, taking our clients on their last trip around town, and I was thinking, strange, I know, did I ever tell you the first time I went to a funeral? I was a teenager, about to start university, and a friend of mine was killed. In a car accident, totally out of the blue. Really tragic stuff. Messed me and my friends up real good. But so, the big day, we all got into our best suits and dresses and packed ourselves into a few cars. There were a lot of us, so we had at least 3 different cars full of us, like clown cars, While we're in the procession, going to the cemetery, somebody in our car got a phone call from a friend in a different car. Turns out some asshat driver who doesn't know not to get in the way of a procession drove through the intersection and smashed straight into our friend's car. Nobody was hurt, thank God, but can you imagine getting that call? Anyways, one of my friends in the same car as me, the one who got the phone call, hung up and started laughing. Just laughing her ass off in a way that makes you not sure if they're really just crying or if they've gone fully off the deep end. And she laughed. And then we all started giggling because, go figure, life is messed up sometimes, There's no moral, no point to that story, I guess. I just remembered that story and wanted to tell you. Because we work with death all the time, and I still sometimes get caught off guard by what that actually means. Oh, before you get any ideas, that has nothing to do with why I became a funeral director. That decision came totally later and is nothing unremarkable. Somebody has to do it, and I have a strong stomach, so why not? See you in a bit, Charlie. Yeah, and depends on prolonged use and how tight the corset is. I mean, Victorian times the corsets were definitely worn much tighter, from my understanding. Okay, Funerals Monthly. We all know everyone... Hang on, let me... Water. We all know everyone wants to be respectful at funerals. Don't talk too loudly, be kind, smile, and refrain from making inappropriate jokes, at least around the grieving family. Hey, sometimes some people do need a little bit of a pick-me-up during such hard times. Who are we to judge? And a big part of that is knowing what to wear. Roman Catholic funerals tend to lean more to the formal, black attire rule, and it works for us. Did you know this goes back to the days of the Roman Empire where people would wear black as a symbol for mourning? Black isn't universally the symbol for mourning, though. If you're attending a funeral that is from a culture that is not your own, it's important to understand this. Some colors have different meanings, and despite your best intentions, the wrong choice could mean accidental offense. For example, in Hinduism and in Chinese cultures, white is a typical color for funerals. For Islam, though, it's less about the color you're wearing and more about how modestly you're dressed. Refrain from wearing any elaborate jewelry, and be respectful of your behavior. For Sikh funerals, color of the clothing isn't as important as is dressing modestly and being able to appropriately sit cross-legged. Actually, being respectful is just the #1 rule for any funeral, no matter what, really. Remember that, and please don't hesitate to ask what is and isn't appropriate to wear. If you are tending to support a friend, family member, or partner, this day is not about you, so be sure to do whatever you can to be as respectful and supportive as possible, even if that means not wearing what you're used to wearing at a funeral, or even if it just means asking how you can appropriately show your respects. When in doubt, ask. That goes for most things. Hi, Charlie. Here are the instructions for your next body. You did a remarkable job on the first one. The family was very happy with you. No small feat, of course. Pleasing a grieving family isn't exactly the most comfortable of jobs. Your next job is a man named Mr. Duval, an elderly man, died of old age. Nothing fancy, just a standard funeral with embalming. You can reach out to his daughter Lizzie Duval if you have any questions. She's handling her father's passing as well as can be expected. As always, don't hesitate to ask me any questions. P.S. Charlie dear, please remember to wear appropriate embalming gear. Formaldehyde is extremely dangerous. I know I don't need to tell you, but my maternal instincts are hard to ignore. I promise I won't mother you too much. Well, just a little. Ask Matthew, he knows. That's very cute. Alright, Mr. Duval. So we gotta start with cleaning and shaving and whatnot. Traditional burials typically require embalming, which preserves the body and prevents it from decomposing as quickly. Unless the family requests otherwise, all traditional burials will use embalming. Let's start by cleaning the body. How are you doing, Mr. Duval? I feel like I need to be very careful. It's not really precise, but like, I guess... See, this is somewhere that I would be like, does he want me to shave his chest? Did Mr. Duval like a shaved chest and abdomen? In order to break rigor mortis, you'll have to massage the body. Click and drag over the body to massage it. So preparing the body is it's very intimate. Like, this is oh, I didn't think that this was going to affect me quite so much. I have way too much empathy to do this job. I would weep with every single client. The eyeballs deflate once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag an eye cap into each socket to give it shape. These are the eye caps. And I know that because they're pointy. They look like torture devices. But yeah, they basically have spikes to hold the eyelids down so they don't pop open. Well, we're preparing the body first. It's not going to be... We're not going to put him in clothes to then embalm him. To keep the eyes shut, you'll need to glue them. Click and drag the glue. Oh yeah, I forgot about the glue. The mouth sags and hollows once the body starts decomposing. Click and drag a cotton ball into the mouth to give it shape. And then, to keep the mouth from opening, you'll need to suture it shut. And lotion prevents skin from drying out. Okay. I also want to make sure we give you a nice, a nice shave, keep it moisturized. Embalming involves removing blood and replacing it with preserving chemicals. Click and drag the scalpel over the neck to make an incision. It's less this part gets me. It was the massaging part and like the cleaning. I think I would just bawl every single time. Click on the cannula. I'm assuming that's this. And drag it onto the carotid artery. How do I access that? It's a trocar. I assumed in there, but like, I can't see what I'm doing. Now you'll need to collect the embalming machine to the cannula, grab some additional tubing. Okay. There we go. And turn it on. In order to evenly distribute the chemicals, you have to massage them through the body. Yep. That is true. How are the sound effects? Are they too loud? Alright, now sew up the incision. Sounds good to you? Alright, thanks. Almost done. You'll need to drain the organs of any remaining fluids. Click on the trocar, then click and hold on the abdomen until all the fluid has been drained. I've heard that you need to, like, really shove that thing in there. And you need to stab a lot harder than you think you're going to need to. And you're done. Mike will take care of Mr. Duval's makeup as well as dressing and putting him in his casket. It's time to attend the funeral. I like the little cup of coffee detail. Alright, so first we're gonna say goodbye to Mr. Duval. Thank you for letting me work on you. I hope it brings a family comfort. He always wanted to take his grandkids to the park, play catch. He loved playing catch. He threw a mean curveball, that's for sure. Aww. The kid's playing a game in the corner. So strange not seeing most people wearing white. White? Yeah, I think it's different for different family members. I can't remember. I haven't gone to many traditional funerals, so mostly white, but like definitely not red, no matter what. Huh. I wish we had learned a little bit more about Mr. Duval. Came out of nowhere. I mean, it always sort of does, doesn't it? Yeah, one minute you're laughing, having fun, and then the next, poof, that person is gone. Just, like, gone. Yeah. It's weird to think about for too long, like staring at the sun. I start to feel all fuzzy when I think about it. Mm-hmm. So weird how our bodies just stop working like that. Yeah. Yeah. December 2nd. So we've been here for October, November, December, 2.5 months, just about. I'm enjoying the Jen conversation. Hello, Charlie. Today's funeral is for a woman who died from breast cancer. Nothing fancy, just standard cremation. Please don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions. Funerals Monthly. LGBTQ funerals. Respect. If you've been a longtime subscriber to our emails or follow us on social media, you've no doubt heard about the misgendering that transgender people are at times subjected to during their funerals. There have been notable situations where trans women have had their wishes overruled by their families and have had their hair cut, are buried under the wrong names, and subjected to the wrong pronouns in their obituary announcements. We care a lot about this because we believe in treating every person with the same level of compassion, respect, and care. And this absolutely extends to pronouns and respecting the deceased's wishes as per their lived experiences. The CDC's Funeral Director's Handbook on Death Registration and Fetal Death Reporting offers the fraught directive. Enter male or female based on observation. Do not abbreviate or use other symbols. If sex cannot be determined after verification with medical records, inspection of the body, or other sources, leave unknown. Or enter unknown. Do not leave this item blank. Leaving it up to observation obviously enters into a world of issues since bodies can be so different, and because of ingrained bias, people can draw incorrect assumptions based on their own inaccurate observations. California has passed what is known as the Respect After Death Act, which states that the death certificate must reflect the deceased's gender identity as they lived it. Yay, California! So a step in the right direction. People who are trans deserve the same respect in death that people who are cisgender receive. Misgendering in death takes away this respect. It can also inflict hurt and trauma on spouses and friends that survive the deceased. So, what can we do as funeral directors? Listen to the people who come into your office. In America especially, some marriages may not be recognized as legal depending on the laws surrounding same-sex marriage. But this doesn't mean you're not dealing with two people who have loved each other. Oh, sensitive this wording. Who have loved each other in the same way as another couple. Listen, learn, and always be respectful. While you have to work with the next of kin, your duty is to also ensure the deceased receives the utmost respect in their burial. If a funeral is to honor the deceased, then do that. Honor them. When did this game come out? Was that not standard practice? Because a lot of our official systems in place, especially stuff that's regulated by bureaus and government and this and that, are very antiquated. So not everything is up to date. Let's see. I'm just curious when this came out. 2017. Okay. So there's no date in the game, so I'm not exactly sure when it's set. But I hope that, like, especially the laws around same-sex marriage seemed a little out of date. So I'm hoping that things have progressed since then. Hey Matthew, this is embarrassing, but it seems I miscalculated some of our income and I don't have enough to pay you this week. Would it be terribly inconvenient if I cut you a check for next week instead? If you need the money urgently, please let me know. I feel terrible about this whole thing, and I can cut you a check from my personal account if need be. I'm so sorry about this. I assure you it won't happen again. Take care, Amy Rose. From Matthew to me, I don't like the look of this, not one bit. I know you've only been with us a few months, but maybe you're aware of the trouble Amy's been having. A small mom and pop shop like Rose and Daughters can't compete with the bigger guys. Anyway, don't tell Amy I sent this to you. Also, I'm starving, so I'm gonna grab some fast food before taking the hearse through the car wash, 2 birds, 1 stone, and swinging back to the home. Do you want anything? A beef and cheddar? I'm going to take the hearse through the drive-thru, of course. Freaks people out. I love it. They get so awkward. Let me know. Heading out in 15 minutes. I feel like if you forward something, the person knows, right? From Jen. Charlie. I was doing some reading. I know you hate it when I try to give you dating advice, but hear me out. There's this dating site that's specifically for people working in the death industry. Okay, so maybe I'm a little worried for you, but you haven't mentioned anybody new since the breakup in 2014 that we will never speak of again after this moment. But you're always saying how tired you get of people being scared to ask about your day, so maybe meeting somebody in the industry isn't the worst idea? So maybe this is set in 2015 or something. It's unclear. I think it's meant to be unclear, the precise date. Just promise me you'll consider it, okay? It's harder for me to make sure you're seeing sunlight when I'm all the way across the ocean. I know you look like a babe with pale skin, and witchy gothic aesthetics are super hot right now, but vitamin D is still a good thing. Mom rant over. I'm going to try it out because turns out people get super scared off when you tell them you work in a museum filled with dead bodies. Do you know how not interesting other people find teratomas? Charlie, I didn't know we were this weird to outside people. I've been spoiled by having a best friend who is as much of a weirdo as I am. Miss you. Let's grab a bottle of wine for our next Skype date. Yes. Virtual wine dates. Very underrated. If you sign up for Dead Meat, isn't that the best name for a death industry dating website? Tinder rules apply. You have to like me if you come across my profile or whatever. I'm not sure how it works just yet, though. She's like, give me them upvotes! Shouldn't it be up to the person if it's the last time it's ever brought up? Maybe they want to talk about it now? What do you mean, like the breakup? Meet cutes for death-positive cuties was the subject line. Hi, Amy. Thank you for the wonderful evening you and your staff put together for my father's funeral. He wasn't always an easy man to get along with, but I'm glad to have seen him off in such a kind way. Thank you, Lizzie. Passing on this lovely thank you note. Yeah, we aren't getting many clients, huh? Hello, Charlie. Today's funeral is for a woman who died from breast cancer, standard cremation. Okay. Oh, we're cremating her in the casket. This is to clean out the remains. Before we cremate Mrs. Hall, we'll need to prepare her body. Mrs. Hall's family brought clothing and jewelry for her to wear. It's important to remove these before the cremation process as to not damage them. Let's start by removing Mrs. Hall's necklace. This seems very strange. I mean, I understand the jewelry, but we'll need to be able to identify Mrs. Hall's remains after she's been cremated. Click and drag the round identification tag to place it in the coffin. Oh, so we're just taking the jewelry off. Okay, that makes sense. I think it's also so that it doesn't damage the... Because it wouldn't be... Would that melt? I don't remember. Goodbye, Mrs. Hall. Also, fun fact, the cremation machine has to be on at all times because it takes such a long time to get up to temperatures. So most places just keep it running constantly, even if they don't have any cremations set. I wanna broom out. Ow. This is the cremulator. Contrary to popular belief, cremation doesn't turn bodies into ash so much as bone fragments. Yeah, you have to there are some bones that don't get turned to ash, and you have to grind them up. Using the cremulator, we'll break these bone fragments down into ash-like remains. Start by placing the urn in the cremulator. It's a pretty urn, I like the design. Click and drag the bone fragments. This is way floatier. I'm like trying to be gentle with it. It's just like, okay, there's your skull. Now that all the bones have been processed, click and drag the urn back into the counter. Be sure to put Mrs. Hall's necklace in the urn. Don't forget the tag. Okay. And put the lid on. All done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it alongside some flowers. So this game seems to be much more about the human aspect surrounding funerals and like the people involved, which again reminds me of that book that I mentioned earlier. Than it is about the nitty-gritty of actually preparing the bodies and stuff. Gold melts at a little over 1900 Fahrenheit. Most ovens get to 14 to 18. Say it's safe bet they do it because of the jewelry. Yeah. Goodbye, Mrs. Hall. She would have hated this music. She never wanted her funeral to be sad. She would have wanted us smiling. She said so. I mean, you can bring in a boombox if you want to. She fought really hard. She was proud of herself. She never gave up. Not once. Glad she was cremated and not in, like, an open casket or something. Seeing her like that? I don't know if I could have. At least we all got to say goodbye. She would have liked that. This is nice, in a weird way. She'd like that we're all here together talking. She always tried to keep the family together. The food is delicious. I know that's weird, but these crab cakes are perfect. That's a very human thing. I was thinking how it's a nice pairing with Portia, 2 games where people are more important than widgets. Well, I figured since this was probably going to be a little bit heavier that we would have a nice, more uplifting thing to do after this game. I know. This is a very somber little morning, but I really wanted to check out this game, and I'm enjoying it so far, and I'm curious to see where it goes. News about the future of Rose and Daughter's funeral home. Hi all. It is with a very heavy heart that I write to you to let you all know that Rose and Daughters will no longer be in business. I had no idea how to start this email, and resources I googled told me that it would be the best and easiest way to break the ice. Be direct but remorseful, Google said. Oh my gosh, she's precious. The truth is, I don't really know what to say. Since my father passed away, I've done my best to make Rose and Daughters warm and friendly to anyone who chose to use our services. It was my memorial to him, the original Rose, in a lot of ways. And you've all become like family, including you, Charlie, our most recent addition. But it's been getting harder to make ends meet. Rent is going up in the neighborhood, and I'm finding less and less like I have the energy for this business. There's a lot of competition from other funeral homes, larger corporations than we are, that can take on more business and offer more impressive services. You know the way it goes. So we've been bought. Or I sold. Either way, soon. Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated, a company that owns many funeral homes in the city and across the country, will replace Rose and Daughters, starting from the beginning of next month. Same building, same name. They're keeping the Rose and Daughters funeral home for tax purposes. Though honestly, I'm trying hard not to just see it
as a move on their part to keep up the image that it's a family-run business. I don't know how I feel about that, but I also don't know if there's anything I can do at this point either. I've signed the papers. At least my father's legacy is still intact somewhat. They have a good reputation and have agreed to keep you all on. It was one of my stipulations. I would sell as long as you all weren't without a job. Sorry I didn't tell you in a more personal way. I would have loved to have a company lunch, but I admittedly didn't have the heart to tell you in person. This was easier for me. Please understand. Sincerely, Amy Rose. So, this goes back to exactly what Ori brought up. Keeping on protecting Earth with green burials. Who else wants to become a tree? What do you guys all... I know this is kind of a morbid topic, but it's a morbid game. What do you guys all want to happen to your body when you die? I want to be made into a tree, but I do want a little plaque that says, like, hey, this tree is Lecta. You know, date of birth, date of death. And, like, she was real weird. Hug this tree. I just came up with that last part, but I kind of like it. Hug this tree. It was made from Lecta. There you go, that conglomeration of funeral homes thing. Yeah. You've lived your life mindful of the environment, doing your part to reduce pollution and generally help out where you can, so why not continue doing that even in death? At least that's the thinking for a lot of people who are turning to green or natural burials. Natural cemeteries are becoming more popular and are focused on a few rules. Mainly, it's that bodies aren't allowed to be embalmed with chemicals that can damage the environment, and bodies must be buried in a biodegradable shroud or casket. Not only is this better for the environment, but it's also cheaper. At Union Cemetery in Ontario, Canada, a natural burial is just over $1,000, so better for the people, the environment, just maybe not so good for big business. Let's not forget, people, this is still a business after all. But really, why go green? Green burials help preserve natural resources, work to reduce carbon emissions, protect the health of those preparing bodies, and restore/preserve natural habitats. Embalming fluids tend to contain formaldehyde, and funeral directors report a higher incidence of leukemia. Going green and not using toxic chemicals for embalming helps protect funeral directors while at the same time lessening the impact we have on the environment after we're gone. We here at Funerals Monthly think green burials are pretty cool. What do you think? Reply and let us know. Do away with me as cheaply as possible. No need to waste money on me after death. Wish I could just be put out in the north somewhere for the bugs and the birds, but I get why that isn't feasible. I wonder if there are places that will just set you out. You could donate your body to a body farm. It's not exactly the same thing, but you might be laid out in nature. Charlie, I wonder what they do. Do they just let the bodies seep in? Like, what do they do once the decomp they were trying to show students is through? Just add another body on top of it? Curious. Charlie! I've been playing a new game when things are slow at work. It's called Tales from the Crypt Sweeper. Get it? Get it? It's really like Minesweeper, but way harder. Like, seriously, it's really, really difficult. And I thought my Minesweeper game was on point after working that overnight front desk job at that hotel for 3 years, but I must have gotten rusty. Anyways, instead of mines, you want to avoid graves so you don't disturb the adorable ghosts. The main character also kind of looks like you. Want to start a healthy competition? High score gets to pick the restaurant we go to when one of us is in town next. Cute. Forward. So Amy said, I thought I would forward this to you. In situations like this, we typically connect people like Ryan with a grief counselor or other professionals who can really help him. Sometimes we get emails like this when people don't know where else to turn. It's difficult, and family isn't always the most reliable for some people. Usually I would be happy to connect him, but I'm feeling a little tired today, not my usual self. And it would be good for you to start building these kinds of relationships on your own. You're a treasure, Charlie. I don't know what to do, from Ryan Garcia. Hi, Amy. I know this email might be a bit odd, but you said if I was ever having troubles, I should reach out, and you would know somebody I could talk to about all of this. I don't know what to do now. I know my grandmother had lived a full, good life, and was very happy, and that she's not in any pain now, but I feel empty, Amy. I've never felt this empty before. What am I supposed to do now? I thought I was stronger than this. Can you refer me someone to talk to? I don't want to freak out my mom right now. She's dealing with enough with work and the will and trying to just be the best mom she can. I just need someone to tell me that it'll be okay. Thank you, and I'm sorry for being an inconvenience. This line kills me! Ryan. I can't actually take action on that, which actually hurts a lot. Serious question. It scares me a little to think about what could be done, but I think I want to donate my body to science. Not sure what kind of research. As far as I know, you don't get to pick. You just donate to science, and they get to choose what they do with your body. After the organs have been donated, if still usable. Yeah. Joke answer, shoot me out of a cannon. Yeah, I want to donate my organs if they're usable, and then make me a tree. Charlie, I thought you'd like to see this thank you note. Hi, Amy. I'm so eternally grateful that you were able to accommodate our requests for my sister's funeral. It was a beautiful service and she would have been happy with it. That's such a weird thing to say, isn't it? Thank you again from the bottom of my heart. Sincerely, Margareta. News about the future. Hi, all. We read this. Okay. So, hi, Charlie. Please see the note below about the pacemaker. They can be tricky. Hi, Amy. You asked if there are any special instructions we wanted to pass along. Just please cremate my father. He has a pacemaker, too. The doctor told me that would need to be removed. Thanks, Mariana. She's like, just do it. On Valentine's Day. Sounds good. I'll take care of it. Okay. I actually don't know who this is. Who are you? Mr. Reyes came directly from the hospital, so we don't have to worry about removing any valuables from him, as the family did not provide any for us to include. However, Mr. Reyes has a pacemaker that we'll need to remove before cremation. Because pacemakers are batteries, they will explode inside the hot heat of the cremation machine, and we definitely don't want that. Let's remove it. So, scalpel. That was a very loud scalpel noise. Forceps. And the tag. Mr. Reyes is all set to be cremated now. I'm wondering if they specifically made the preparation of the bodies and a quick and easy process so as not to linger on it. Like, on purpose, they don't want you lingering on it because, you know, they're trying to make sure that it's not seen as, like, glorifying this sort of thing, that they're very clearly trying to show as a respectful and important process. All done. Amy will take the urn to the funeral parlor and present it. Goodbye, Mr. Reyes. I wonder if he ever liked me. He was nice to me, but I don't know. He never seemed like he really cared if I was there or not. Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I
always told him to quit smoking, but of course he never listened to me, so that figures. What do you want to do after this? It's pretty nice out. Let's change and go find a patio somewhere? Sounds good. I could really use a beer right now. Hey, did I ever tell you the time we tailgated? Again, the human bits of this are so very realistic. Did you ever end up clearing the air with your father? No, we talked a few times, but no, not really. He sounded like a difficult man. He was stubborn. That's just it. Stubborn. I want to pet them on their little heads. I also like how the snacks are not in the same spot every time. Although me, I would definitely put it in the same spot every time. Because I'm like that. Blue-doo. Thought I'd pass this along to you. Hi, Amy. I just wanted to thank you for the service the other month, and apologize if I was abrupt. It was kind of a shock for me, and I didn't feel comfortable with the whole process. He wasn't supposed to die yet. It hasn't been easy. Mariana. It's okay. Mushrooms! You hate mushrooms so much I found the perfect thing for you! It's our friend Jen. I've been thinking about death. I know, shocker, and look what you've done to me. I think I want this mushroom suit. No, it's not called that, but I can't remember the name of it, and I'm writing you on my phone, so I don't feel like Googling it right now. Anyways, the idea is that it's a biodegradable suit that the deceased wears. It's made with what people call a biomix, i.e. mushrooms and other microorganisms that help to decompose bodies, neutralize toxins in the body, and provide nutrients for the soil for plants. I think this one company even offers casket liners for use in green caskets. I think this is what I want. It'll be just like Hannibal. Wait, don't tell people I said that, okay? But seriously, it's pretty cool. I love all of the death innovation happening. We might as well do something when we're in the ground, you know? Love you. Think about it and let me know your thoughts. I want all of your thoughts. If it's not this, then maybe I'll have my ashes made into jewelry. But seriously, I'm probably going to do this. There's no harm in planning ahead. Am I right? Love, Jen. That's neat. Yeah, I've not heard of the mushroom suit. But there is a company that makes you into like a little thing that's planted and it sprouts a tree. That's what I want. Tree me daddy! Alright, funerals monthly. Welcome back. Now, we rarely do listicles here, but for this month's newsletter, we thought a listicle would be the best way to deliver this month's advice. What not to say at a funeral. We know figuring out the right thing to say to a grieving friend can be extremely difficult, and since that's such a personal issue, it's hard to give specific advice. Some things will be more comforting to other people, but fortunately we can deliver a bit more solid advice on what not to say to someone who is grieving. So here it is, Funerals Monthly's top 5 things to not say at a funeral. Number 1, at least they're no longer suffering. Even if this is true, nobody wants to hear this, and it's probably not your place to dictate. Who wants to be told that the death of somebody they love is for the best? Like I said, even if it's true, don't be that jerk and just don't say it. Were they saved? No religious statements, just don't. Why? Because not everyone agrees with your religious views, and not only is not always comforting, it can also be insulting. Yeah, like, were they good enough? They're with the angels now. See above's note, then rinse, repeat. Let me know how I can help. This one is tricky. You want to help, but those in mourning won't always ask for help. They also won't always know what to ask for. If you want to help, suggest specific things. For example, I'm free if you need someone to babysit the kids. Actions are better than passive statements. Yeah, don't make them do the work of figuring out what you can do to be nice to them. Like, that's extra work when they're trying to deal with other shit. Cook something for them. Take them to their favorite restaurant or buy tickets to see a movie together. I know how you feel. Even if you think you do, everyone grieves differently. Don't focus this on yourself. Empathy doesn't involve having to commiserate. Sometimes people will want to hear your experiences, but don't assume they will. Ask first. For a quicker version of this list that can be applied in any situation, don't say stuff just for the sake of saying stuff. Just say, I'm sorry, if you don't know what else to say. An earth nutrient package, yes. Oh. Charlie, I was hoping you wouldn't have to confront this situation, yet anyways, they're never easy. Rose and Daughters has been asked to prepare the body of a young man who took his own life. He had a will prepared and asked for cremation, but the family has demanded a traditional burial instead. Unfortunately, he didn't make anyone his power of attorney, or didn't have any witnesses sign his living will or his advanced directive regarding these wishes, so his family is legally in the right to do whatever they want with his body. It's unfortunate, but we have to do as his family wishes. Matthew has graciously offered to take this on if you are uncomfortable with the subject. Instead, we have a second body you can prepare for a funeral we're hosting later in the afternoon. Charlie, is this suicide something you're comfortable dealing with? Let me know. I'm here if you need me. I don't know what I would do in this situation. Because as an employee, I would be like, you need me to do it, I'll do it. But I'd be pissed about it the whole time. And I know that the business is hurting. It's like they need to take all the business they can. But if it were me, I'd be like, if you're not going to support their final wishes, go elsewhere. That I would be such a bad business person in this sense. I'd be like, nope. I'll cremate him. But I'm not giving him a traditional burial because that's not what he wanted. Good day, Miss Rose. Disregard our son's will as it concerns to matters of his burial. He was clearly not thinking right and didn't know what he really wanted. Proceed with an open casket funeral. As for payment, we'll be bringing a check. Manuel Scott can go suck it. Yeah, right. Another answer I just remembered that's supposedly more environmentally friendly than cremation is a process known as promession, where they freeze your body and shake it into a dust that's then used as fertilizer. Like that done. 6,000 compared to 7 to 10 for traditional. So I could see myself holding on to that much. Huh. Yeah, so they must freeze you and then they gotta break the body down, right? After it's frozen. So yeah, if this were me, I would not have taken the business. I would have been like, I will cremate your son the way that he wanted. I'm not comfortable with the family's ask, but it's not up to me. I'm the employee. I will give their son as much respect and honor as I am able to legally. They just vibrate it to pieces. Interesting. Oh, that's cotton balls. All right, Mr. Scott. I'm sorry that your family doesn't understand. I'll do the best that I can. I'd cremate you if I could. This feels bad. I would definitely talk to him the whole time and apologize. I'm sorry that all of this is being done to you. I'll get it over with as soon as possible. I feel bad. I want to cremate him. But I also want to keep my job. And last thing with the Trocar. Pretty sure you'd have lost your job after this one because you would have just cremated him. They would have been able to take you to court, so it's not just that you'd have been fired, but legally they have... Like the email said. Legally, there's nothing that we can do. Just fucking upsetting. Just to hijack him. Run away so that they don't know. I want to close the casket, at least. I'm so sorry, Mr. Scott. I wish I could have done something. I still can't believe he did it. I feel like I should have known, you know? Been able to do something to stop it. There was no way to know. You can't blame yourself. He wouldn't have wanted that. I know, it hurts. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I heard it wasn't going to be open casket. I'm surprised it's public. Usually funerals for these circumstances are more private. Yep, sue me, daddy. Loss like that can suck my butt. Hey, Deva, hello. Whoops, casket just fell into the cremator. Terribly sorry about that. I wish we were closer. Wow, I still can't believe this is real. My baby brother. I should have played more games with him when he asked. I'm sorry. Oh, that's heartbreaking. Boo. Deva, how are you doing? Hello. How's it going? I'm just pulling myself together before work. It's going pretty good. This game is very realistic to, like, what it's... to the humans involved in death and the death industry. It's been very interesting. Different funeral traditions. Ooh, hell yes. Funeral rites, even in our own culture, may be something many of us may be unfamiliar with. There's a lot of maybes there. Maybe. For many people, all they know of funeral traditions are what they've seen in media. But, and I think this goes without saying, funeral rites and traditions aren't the same across the board. Different cultures have different protocols for cleaning the body to different aspects of the service itself. Religion provides different paths for dealing with a death, but the goal is almost always the same, offering support, guidance, and ease to the people who are grieving. In Judaism, internment usually begins immediately after somebody has passed. Up until the burial, the body is never supposed to be alone. So often, families will appoint a shomer, a guardian, to remain with the body. Preparations for burial begin as soon as possible in Muslim traditions as well. Local Islamic community organizations are also often involved and help the family make arrangements for the funeral service and the burial. But not all practices are strictly religious focused. In the aughts in South Korea, the amount of graveyard space began to shrink drastically, causing a law to be passed that required families to remove a loved one's body from its burial place after 60 years. Many families began to cremate more often. But there are also companies that compress the remains into beads in turquoise, pink, or black called death beads. That's so cool! This occurs in North America, Europe, and Japan, but remains much more common in South Korea because of the space issue in graveyards and the expenses of cremation. And not all practices are somber either. Ever heard of the turning of the bones or the famadihana? A ritual by the Malagasy people of Madagascar. I'm sorry if I've said that incorrectly. Famadihana has families return to an ancestral crypt, exhume the bodies wrapped in cloth, before dancing with the bodies to lively music. This practice is a celebration, remembrance, and way of keeping the deceased involved in family news. I love that! That's so cool! I want that. But, you know, I also want to be a tree. But I want people to come party with me! So just turn up to my tree. Everyone dance around my tree, get drunk. You know, it's okay if you pee on me. I'm a tree. I don't care. Pee drunk people, you know. I mean, I'd hope people wouldn't pee on me, but like, eh. But yeah, come party, bring a boombox. Be good times. Death can be difficult for many people, obviously, but that doesn't mean there isn't a beauty in the ways we choose to honor and celebrate our deceased. This is so cool. I want to find out more about this. Hey, Plinth user, how you doing? What's up, what's up? You're invited to attend a death cafe. Subscriber. Come increase awareness of death with a view to helping people make the most of their finite lives. Join us, have a tea and cake, and talk with others about our thoughts, fears, and illuminations on death. The founder of the Death Cafe movement, John Underwood, once said, "When people talk about death and dying, it tends to illustrate their humanity." See everyone at the Upside Down Jar next Thursday from Death Cafe. Can't really write much right now. I have a lot of work to do with an inguinal hernia from 1750. It's the oldest in our collection, and you can even see this bit of paper the surgeon put in after removing the hernia. Super cool. I'll send you the link when we have it cataloged. What is my life? What is that sentence I just typed? I want a spin-off game about Jen. I want to follow Jen in the museum. Like a Mortician's Tale, the sequel, but it's from Jen's perspective. We get to see what Jen does as a museum curator with the bodies. Very, very interesting. But anyway, this event that I'm forwarding you is taking place near you. Figured you'd be into it. Might help with that feeling of restlessness you were talking about before. Could be good to talk about some of the things you're feeling. Lots of death-positive people there. Sounds like it'll be a safe space. Aw, thanks, Jen. You're the best. What the hell? Can I just say first off that this is bullcrap? Ugh. Knowing how these corporations run, I wouldn't be surprised if they're monitoring our emails now. No, okay, I don't really believe that. I'm just upset. I get that Amy didn't have much of a choice. You can only fight a huge corporation taking all of your business for so long. This isn't 6 feet under. And they just swooped in, and now we have to deal with their BS practices. They're colder than the corpse I picked up from the morgue this morning. Who charges this much for funerals? It feels dirty and exploitative. Let's grab a drink after work? I need to blow off some steam, and emails aren't really the most appropriate place to do this. Too late for me, I guess. P.S. If you're reading this, Hillside Overlord, good. You heard her, people. Lecta wants turnips around her tree. Turnips? Mortician's Tale Gaiden? The museum chapter. Hell yeah. Or a curator's tale? I don't know. A mortician's friend? Chad Grant, welcome. We are pleased to bring on Rosendaughters as part of Hillside Heritage Enterprises Incorporated. They will be another institution amongst the hundreds of other properties owned across the country. But of course, as part of the adjustment process to the Hillside Heritage Inc. culture, there will be a number of changes that will come to Rose and Daughters. We will send out the memo regarding the specifics and details of these changes, and we expect them to be followed impeccably. Glad to be leading the way for Rose and Daughters from now on. Chad Grant, CEO and Managing Funeral Director, blah, 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 you're gross. Alright. From Chad. course, his name is Chad. Your titles are better than mine. I kind of suck at titles, I'm surprised. Removing the hernia? I don't know if she was removing it or just investigating it. I've had an inguinal hernia and they don't remove it. Well, it was from the... Where did she say it was from? The 1750s, so... Doctors back then... He also put a piece of paper in it, in the body, so, like, I don't think they were the best there. It's a bit of intestine that pushes through the muscle tissue in your abdominal wall. They push it back in and patch up the hole by stitching the tissue or stitching it up and putting mesh over it. Yours has the mesh. Mesh man. You've got a mesh man stomach spot. Charlotte. Ew, I hate you. Below are the details for our next client. Ensure you follow the requested specifications exactly. After you are done, I will review your work in order to properly evaluate you at the end of the month. Get out of here. Thank you, Mr. Grant, for agreeing to take care of Jocelyn's cremation. The bike accident was, well, it was more than I was expecting. I know she wanted to be cremated, and to be honest, I don't think I could bear seeing her like that after what happened. Thank you, Leah. I'll get right to it, auto response. I would not even respond, I would just do it. I wouldn't even say, alright. I wonder if I could just close it. Prepare Ms. Ionesco's body for cremation. Alright, we're gonna remove the watch. Place the round identification in the tag. That's it. That wasn't worded well. I mean, if the intestine gets stuck in the muscle wall, it can get cut off from the blood supply. Oof. Human bodies are fucking weird. Weird bodies. Gross bodies. Weird and gross and bad bodies. Well, not bad, but just, they're strange. All the things that can go wrong or different. Oh, it's got birds. And trust me, if I were handling these, I would put them very carefully. I wouldn't be like swinging the bones around, but that's just kind of how the physics work. All done, Matthew will take her to the funeral parlor. At least this time, Jocelyn got the cremation she wanted. So let's pay our respects. Goodbye, Jocelyn. She was always so careful, wore her helmet, signaled, used the bike lanes. Asshole drivers, they need to pay attention. Have you heard what's happening to the driver? No, I haven't wanted to ask Leah. This has been hard enough on them, without asking about the legal ramifications of all this. Yeah. After all this, let's see what we can do to help them. Shouldn't deal with the death of their partner all by themselves. Poor Leah. Oh! No! I have to go through all of her things. How am I supposed to decide what to keep? If you need help, I can help. No. Thanks, I mean, but no, I don't know. It's so intimate. Feels like I should do it myself. She would kill me if others saw the things we have. Yeah, she was kind of a closed book. Except to you. Yeah. Yeah, she was special. I want to hug them. So glad it was a cremation. I would have lost it, seeing her body. I'm glad I'm here, but wow, I just need a glass of wine and to binge watch something right now. Again, a totally normal human reaction. And I love that this game is doing a really, really good job of showing all of this in a very, very realistic way. Should we do a vigil at the spot? Careless drivers, I swear to God. Kill them. Don't actually. Yeah, there's a lot of people that should not be on the road. I'm gonna have to take the whole driving test again next time I want to get my license, because it expired before the pandemic, because it expired on my birthday, and I didn't want to get a new one because I needed to get the real ID, and then with the pandemic, blah, 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 blah. So basically, I needed to have gotten my license renewed before my birthday.
Oh,
this
that's a big vagina.
Wow! Before this big vagina. Thank you, Plinth user, so much for those 500 bits. I appreciate it. But yeah, so I would have had to do it before my birthday, and all of the places, because of the pandemic, were all full. Like, there were no appointments, so I just couldn't do it before my birthday. I didn't realize that most of the offices, like, and I would have had to travel a few hours away even. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. Home funerals, why do it? The appeal of a home funeral is apparent for many, especially if the deceased was someone very close to you. The idea of keeping them at home until they are ready to be buried or cremated can be comforting. It wasn't that long ago that we were taking care of our own deceased, but nowadays people are quick to pass off their loved ones to a funeral home. I feel like a lot of people think that they have to. Most families aren't given the option and assume this is mandatory. See? Funeral homes will almost always prepare the deceased using embalming and other methods to make them appear more alive. But isn't this process counterintuitive to the grieving process? Being around the deceased allows the bereaved to spend a longer period of time with their loved one's body, which can help them mourn or give opportunities to family members and friends to see the deceased one last time before they are taken to be buried or cremated. The idea of keeping the deceased body at home might sound gross, but it's important to understand that decomposition takes a long time, and you can further slow this process by keeping your home cool and dry. To be around your loved ones and see them decay naturally is an important part of the grieving process. Home funerals aren't just more intimate, but they are economical. A traditional funeral, complete with body preparation, service, flowers, cards, and other hidden costs and fees, can cost upwards of $7,000 to $10,000. When you're able to take care of your loved one yourself, to wash them and dress them, and to organize their viewing from home, the only cost remaining is entirely in the cremation or burial itself. However, it's important to understand that different rules apply given on what state you live in. In all states, it is legal to have your loved one's body at home after they die. States like Alabama, Connecticut, Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Nebraska, New Jersey, and New York require a funeral director's involvement, from signing the death certificate to overseeing burial or cremation. Huh. Get it together, New York. If this is a route you decide to go for yourself or your loved ones, make sure you follow everything by the book. But just know that this may be an option available to you and your loved ones if you so choose. Dr. Zaius! I just saw a video of a gorilla walking on its hind legs. Like a human being, Charlie! A human being! We, as a species, have seen the beginning of our end. Green Burial Policy. Hello, Charlotte. I have reviewed your request on behalf of a potential family inquiring if we at Hillside Heritage Enterprises, Inc. Do you have to say it the entire thing every time? Can and will perform green burials. I should have informed you of this in the beginning, but we do not perform green funerals as they are not cost effective. All employees and subsidiaries must comply. We do not wish to lose potential customers, though, so do your hardest to convince the families requesting green burials to instead choose traditional burial package. Fuck that! Complete with embalming, caskets, and vaults instead. I trust you will ensure we do not lose any customers, Charlotte. Oh, this guy! There's an interesting episode of New York Times, the daily podcast on the home funeral industry in the past month or so. Oh! If you have a link to it, Vandabeast, also hi, how are you doing? Feel free to post it in chat. I posted this book that I listened to. It was really, really interesting, all about the industry, but also this person's experiences. There goes Statue of Liberty. Want to do the old funeral pyre thing after donating organs? Yeah, just go, wee! I mean, I like graveyards and gravestones. Like, I think they're cool, but again, make me into a tree, put a little plaque on it, call it a day. What a hanging Chad. What a Chad. As stated in a previous email, here are the new rules and code of conduct I expect you to follow from now on while on any premises belonging to blah blah. First and foremost, there's a required uniform and strict dress code from now on. Second most importantly to this is that no tattoos are to be visible. If you have visible tattoos, ensure they are properly covered and hidden. Fuck you! When speaking with customers and clients, consider the opportunity to upsell, i.e. always encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase the higher quality package. Fuck all of that. We find that encouraging loved ones to think of the comfort and style of the deceased as an experience with no price limit on it. I'd say we burn Chad. Time to burn Chad. Additionally, food is no longer allowed to be brought in. Fuck all of that! And instead, encourage the deceased loved ones to purchase our premium sandwich and appetizer food package. Oh, this is making me angry just reading it. Our partner catering concepts provides high-quality food that will be delivered weekly from their factory and can be easily defrosted the morning of the funeral. I expect all of the above changes to be instituted effective immediately, blah, blah. I'm a humongous dickhole, a gaping dickhole that needs to be shut. Charlie, I need a drink. Beer after work? P.S. I also really want mozzarella sticks. I can be both hungry and angry. And no, I will not say hangry ever. This corporate shit is what made you queasy at Death Industry at the start. Well, I think... From my understanding, like, Death Industry is just the common term, but that doesn't imply Chad, right? It implies anyone who works with death, all of the funeral directors, and I don't see a better term for it than industry, because it still is a business, but you don't have to be gross to run a business. You don't have to do it in a gross way. I get what you mean, but I don't know that there's another word for it. Oh, I just realized that this changed. Ew! Bronze, silver, gold. Fees and taxes, costs for... Oh, no. Oh, no. That pissed me off. I don't even want to read it. I don't want to read it. It took out the history and, like, It's so cold and gross! Ooh! I hate it. I fucking hate it. Now your character has to wear sleeves. I'm not gonna. Alright, I'm gonna open that for later reading. Thanks, Vandabeast. It's making me real mad. I need a beer too. This is why I scheduled my time at Portia to be after this, so that we can all calm down together. I was really enjoying this. This was like nice and mellow and, you know, just, And now it's like, I'm real pissed. I'm real mad. Yeah, exactly, Ori. If I put on sunglasses from They Live and look at that email, I feel like it would say conform over and over again. I'm not familiar with that. With They Live. That was so corporate, it made my entire cardiovascular system burn. It's so grody! Alright, I'm just gonna close this, I'm not gonna respond. Quick fucking call. It says to Charlie, and then it says Charlotte. I'm proud to announce that HHEI received a contract with the city to dispose of any unclaimed bodies. This is an important revenue stream for us, as I'm sure I don't need to explain to you, Charlotte. From my understanding, they don't get that... Like, it doesn't pay well to do it. Like, yeah, it's extra income, but it's not, like, lucrative. Being paid a decent wage from the city for these services, cremation is preferred here as the more cost-efficient of the two options. The first... Well, you're getting a burial! Just do the opposite. The first unclaimed body we'll be handling belongs to a middle-aged man, possibly homeless, whose body has yet to be claimed. No special preparations are needed for this cadaver, aside from cremation. What's his name? Oh, this makes me so mad. I'm glad that I can't respond. Oh no, I have to. I have to send the email saying I'll do it. Fuck you. Ooh. I'm chafing at my bonds here. Oh, you're going for the bronze package. Guess you didn't love Grandma as much as you claim to. Before you cremate this gentleman, we need to prepare his body. He doesn't seem to have any valuables on him that would be damaged during cremation, so let's just worry about putting his identification tag into the coffin with him. I would hold his hand. I would spend a moment with him. This is why I could never do this as an actual job. Like, I get way too emotionally invested in each person. Just... I'm sorry that we can't do something more personal for you. It's sad. Hi, Chaz. How are you? His name is Bronze Package from Chad. Oh my god. Ori! Fuck. Jesus Christ. Holy cannoli macaroni face. I'm trying. So again, I would very gently place these in. This bit has really floaty physics, so it looks like I'm on purpose swanging the bones around. I promise you I'm not. I'm doing well. We're just checking out this game. Oh, there's nobody here. I was like, I'm not sure where it's being presented. If it was an unclaimed body. But I like this. Oh, and there's no snacks. I would set out tea. Even if there's no one there to drink the tea, I would set it out and then drink a tea and be like, I'm sorry. I hope that you find peace. Oh, this is too upsetting. I would be like the personal griever for all of these people. Oh my goodness. Yeah, text all my friends, come over, and we'll just have a respectful time. And just spend time appreciating this was a human who lived a life, and we unfortunately don't know anything about them, but they deserve to be honored and have their final moments observed. And we have tea and cookies. Oh, the empty funeral parlor, though, like, oh god, it's killing me. Oh, that's fucking heartbreaking. See, look, I'm still showing my tattoos. What do you want, Chad? Water, water everywhere, and not a drop to drink. Water cremation. Ooh! This is cool. I've never heard about this. We can call it a few different things, like flameless cremation, a bit of an oxymoron, but we'll let it slide. Or perhaps more commonly, resomation. Its technical name, though, is actually alkaline hydrolysis. Whatever we want to call it, it's here, and it's an environmentally friendly alternative to traditional cremation. But for the sake of this newsletter, let's call it water cremation. We all know that traditional cremation and burials take a huge toll on the environment, the energy consumption that adds to the greenhouse gas effect being one of the chief amongst them. And water cremation is an alternative method available for the eco-conscious amongst. How does it work? It's basically a water-based chemical process that uses really strong alkali in water, heated up very high, about 350 Fahrenheit. It basically works like a sped-up version of natural decomposition. The excess water gets put through the same water treatment process as any sewage water at a factory, and alkaline hydrolysis uses significantly less energy than traditional cremation processes. Neat, huh? It's been around for a bit, and some places became legal around the end of the first decade of the aughts. Not a bad alternative for those who don't want their death to have any greater impact on the environment than necessary. I wonder what the remains look like. Because you're not going to get ashes. Unless they do that and then they take the bones out and they put them in the cremulator. But I wonder if they wouldn't be soft enough for the cremulator. I'm curious. I'm very curious. If anybody knows. I kissed her! What? Jen, tell us your things! Alright, hang on. I like to think that the reason this guy's alone is because he was some sort of badass monk who walked the world helping people and finding inner peace. Yeah, he's alone because he wanted to be, sure. And the only reason no one's there is because he knew he died because he was always walking off into the sunset. Yeah. Dating a special effects makeup artist, and she is like the coolest person I've ever met in my life. She totally loves Ava's possession, and was equally freaked out by the possession scenes, but so utterly delighted at the idea of a support group for people who have been possessed. That was your best recommendation in a while, Charlie. You were slipping there. I was getting worried you had lost your taste. But yeah, her name is Lily, and she's super death positive and isn't freaked out by my work, and also isn't too into it like that last dude I saw, Jason? Michael? I can't remember. I just really like spending time around her. I can talk about whatever I want, and it's never a conversation stopper. She also totally gets what I mean when I say, like, working with death and spending so much time thinking about death actually makes me happier. It makes everything else feel so much more worth it, you know? Memento mori, or whatever else they taught us in that one poetry class we took. We just clicked. It feels good. Fun and affirming, like dating should be. I'm thinking of taking her to Maple Meadows. She's super into roller coasters, and I think the idea of sharing cotton candy, or maybe not, I don't want to throw up on the rides, is sickeningly cute. Then, maybe I'll kiss her on top of a Ferris wheel, be super corny and cliche for once in my life. Anywho, enough about me for now. I'm still kind of in shock from your last email. Do you think you're going to do it? You know you have my support 100%, no matter what you decide. I kissed her! She kissed her! Go, Jen! I know, he's so cute. I'm done. Oh, Matthew's leaving. Charlie, it's official. I've put in my 2 weeks' notice. You know how unhappy I am working for Mega Corporation 101. My skills, especially my driving ones, are useful in other professions. I'm not worried about myself. But you I'm worried about. You're too good for this corporate scum. You actually care about the people you work with and for. Don't let them defeat you, okay? P.S. I'll bring beers over next week. We can talk a bit more freely. Hell yeah, Matt. Hello all. We are thrilled to announce the HHEI's subsidiary, Rose and Daughters, just signed a contract with Morning Valley Hospital, allowing us access to all of the cadavers that come through their pediatric and maternity wards. Oh! We're excited for the opportunity to work with Morning Valley Hospital, which intakes over 100,000 patients and receives over $15 million in funding and donations annually. Why do you need to put that in there? This will no doubt be a boon. Ugh. Charlotte. I see you were not able to convince the Dimka family to take a standard funeral. I would not. I I had to contact them myself in order to not lose this sale. Please read the enclosed emails for a lesson on how to properly upsell potential customers. No! I don't want to see that we've lost any customers because of your refusal to upsell. That is part of your job. Okay, so let's dig deep, friends. Hold my hand. Hold my hand. You can squeeze it real tight. Home funeral for my wife. Dear Mr. Grant, regarding the last time we spoke, my daughters and I would still prefer to host a home funeral ourselves and keep my wife here until she's ready to be buried. I just want to make sure she's taken care of. Her heart attack was so sudden, we don't know what to do. We just want to make sure she has a proper send-off. Thanks, Kofi Dimka. And that's where it should have ended. I've been like, that's excellent. Let me know if there's anything I can do. I will assist you in this home funeral. I will go there. I'll bring fresh baked bread or something. I don't know. Dear Mr. Dimka, I understand your desire to keep your wife at home, but I assure you the best way to honor your wife is through a traditional funeral package instead. I promise you your wife's funeral with us will be a beautiful, intimate gathering where all of her beloved friends and family can come together and say their goodbyes. A standard embalming will allow everyone to view your wife, ensuring that everyone can see her one final time as she was. Beautiful, peaceful, and courageous. You don't even know her! Get out of here with that! Cool. Get the rage ready! Letting us take care of the food with our prepared food service will ensure you don't have a single thing to worry about on this day. You and your daughters are going through a hard time right now. Let us here. Don't you get Rose and daughters out your mouth. You knock that name right out of your fucking mouth right now. Eat poop, Chad. Oh, this is making me really, really angry. Dear Mr. Grant, okay, we'll take the traditional funeral package. Thank you for considering us in this hard time. And I can't just close this. Ooh, register a business. Can I make my own? Why is this up here? Interesting. I think I'm gonna make my own. I like that. We're gonna say, fuck you, Chad, I'm gonna take all your business. She should have had a home funeral! Oh, this is so upsetting. I'm sorry, Mrs. Dimka. My new boss is just the scum of the earth. And I apologize that I have to do this for you. Or to you, I suppose. When they didn't... This is not what they wanted! Oh, this is so upsetting. Also, I'm doing this without reading the prompts. I'm just assuming that I remember. Man. You know what? I would be like a funeral, a home funeral, like, doula. My new boss is a Chad, not the good time, not the good kind. You know what I mean? Like, I want to assist people at home doing home things. Like if they feel like they want some sort of guidance, I can make the house smell nice. I can assist them saying like, okay, I would recommend that you clean the body yourselves. Or I wouldn't say the body. I would say that you clean her yourselves. It's a very intimate practice. And I would probably cry, so I wouldn't be good at this. But you know what I mean. I'm so very much the anti-corporation. I just cry at everything. Mike will take care. Who's Mike? Who's who's Mike? I don't trust Mike. Mrs. Dimka, goodbye. This feels so impersonal. She would have hated this. Yeah, but I don't know. They must have had their reasons. Oh, hey, what did you think of that trailer I sent you? Oh yeah, I've heard that show is so good. I saw that video of the one kid actor doing karaoke. Make it personal. You talk about karaoke. She would like that. Clean your own cadaver, Chad. Hiya, sorry. How are you doing? Do you think we did the right thing? I feel bad not doing what Mom asked for. I know, honey, but what that Chad guy said seems right. No one ever says that. That is a sentence that you will never hear in the English language. We don't want to dishonor her memory by letting her rot. Yeah, I just want Mom to know I loved her. I wish I hadn't yelled at her before. Shh, it's okay. She knew you loved her. Fights happen. Please don't be hard on yourself. Yeah. I'm going to miss her. Me too. I'm sorry that my boss duped you. You know what I would do? I would route all of the clients' emails after a certain point to me, and I would be responding as my clients and just be like, iron spine, and be like, no, at-home funeral, and I don't want to hear another word about it, or we'll go someplace else. In training for the new job? Oh, nice. Is this your first day of training? On the one hand, I like what some corporations do in things such as convenience when it comes to things like this. Yeah. Like, when it comes to decisions, respect their decision. You can say, here are all of your options, and then you let them choose, and then you say, okay, I can do that. It's so cold in here. I think they have the air conditioning on too high. Yeah. Let's go for a walk later? It's really nice out. It would be good to stretch my legs. Yeah, go for a walk and talk about Mrs. Dimka and go have a nice little moment. I'm starving. Why do these things always make me so hungry? You're always hungry. Is that me? This is me. That's me, eating all the food. And use an app for the PC to get Android app to use a timesheet. What? Wait, what? What? Wait a minute. Look at me with my tattoos showing in a cute little office. Congratulations from Amy Rose. Charlie dear, I'm so proud of you. I knew there was something special in you when I hired you for Rose and Daughters. If there's anything I can do for you, please do not hesitate to ask. I am always happy to help. Best wishes, Amy Rose. P.S. I sorely miss you and Matthew's terrible sense of humor. We started our own business! It's called Magnolia Forest, Funeral Home and Natural Burial Park. Magnolia Forest, named after the magnolia trees that surround the funeral home, specializes in at-home funerals and green burials. I'm gonna fucking cry. In our natural burial park. Our goal is to empower families and encourage them to have a closer relationship with death and the dying process. The death of a loved one can be a confusing and sometimes traumatic time, and we want you to feel fully involved in your loved one's death care decisions. Whether you're looking to care for your loved ones from the comfort of your home, be present during their cremation, or bury them in our natural cemetery, Magnolia Forest is here to work with you and provide these simple but intimate and meaningful options. National Burial Park. Our National Burial Park allows the body to return to the earth and recycle naturally. It is intended as an environmentally sustainable alternative to existing funeral practices. Our park has room for bodies of all sizes and ages, as well as beloved pets. Families also have the option to bury their loved ones themselves, if they so choose. We believe in being transparent about our prices and practices. We are happy to explain all of our prices, work within your budget, and hope to make you feel comfortable and confident in your decisions. Let us know if we can answer any of your questions. Home funeral, $1,000 all-inclusive. Green burial and service, $2,250 for adults, all-inclusive. Infants are buried at no charge. We can provide a 3x3 plot and help opening and closing the grave. Oh. Direct cremation, $600 all-inclusive. Oh, God. Whew. Oh, this is wonderful. I'm so glad that we did this. Oh. We started on the 12th. The character looks like the woman from Ask a Mortician on YouTube. I'm not familiar with that series. I don't really watch YouTube, though. Alright, Matthew Jeffrey. You'll never believe what new job I'm working now. Open this email to find out. Matthew, that sounds like spam. When I first became a hearse driver, I was told that my most important job wasn't steering, it was sympathizing. I respectfully disagree, and thankfully, I concentrated on my driving skills since I'm now working as a, wait for it, bus driver! A school bus driver, Charlie! Can you believe that? Pretty sure if I said the most important part of my job now wasn't steering, I'd be fired immediately. I didn't know how else to tell you. For some reason, I was worried you'd think less of me. But I don't know why, you've never been the judgmental kind, and besides, corpses are way easier to deal with than children. Screaming children, might I add. I actually love it. These kids can be pretty cute. But don't tell Amy that I told you that. She was always harping on me for not having any kids and for being all cynical about them. Grats on your new business, Charlie. I'm proud of you. I'll swing by your new place one day and show you my new wheels. Maybe we can grab a bite to eat. Be seeing ya, Matthew J. Oh, the love! Congratulations on your new business! Charlie, I'm so happy for you. I know it's been a rough year for you. Seriously, I think our wine intake saw a bazillion% increase. Girl! Preaching to the choir. But you've stuck through it all like a champ. You deserve this. Finally being your own boss is a great move for you. No more having to explain anything you don't want to. I'm trying to not be too cheesy right now. Can't wait to be home next week for our visit and to check out your new space. Always, Jen L. Yay for happy end and fuck Chad! From Eileen Hansen. Dear Charlie, today's the day already, isn't it? I can't believe how quickly this has come up. Thank you for your understanding and for your work. You've made today easier already. See you at 1 p.m. Best, Eileen Hansen. I'll see you soon. Aww. No, we said poop in Chad's microwave and his pillowcase. Poop all over his house. See how he fucking likes it. And leave cockroaches, dead and alive, just pff. Aww, this is so cute. This hurts. I thought it'd be easier, but it's not. It hurts so much. But thank you for helping me give her the funeral she always wanted. Anyway, I think we're ready to get started now. Aww. And they get their own little tree and little rocks. Aww. That was beautiful. Caitlin Doughty! That's the person whose book I linked. Huh. No wonder it was so familiar and so realistic, because they... Oh my gosh. Aw, little pets. Yeah, I need a hug. A hug and a beer or a wine. This was a really good experience. I knew a lot of this already, but I did learn some things like about water cremation, and about the freezing method, and all of that. This was really nice, and they did their best to show. Like I said, the book by Caitlin Doughty, which I'm going to link in chat again, it was a really, really good read. And it was very personal, just like this was. It's, you know, it included moments from her life and not just like a cut and dried. And mushroom suits. 2 weeks until the day my pops passed last year, already on my mind. The last part hit me pretty hard, El Ravager. I'm so sorry. You know that we are here for you. I put the hugging meerkats in the chat, because if I could hug all of you, I would. Hug everybody. It was a nicely educational game for lots of reasons. Yeah, and I really liked that, like, the grief and the way that the families were acting was presented in a real way instead of, like, performative. Like, there's some people who are just, like, talking about something else entirely. You know, everyone deals with it in their own way. It was beautifully realistic and respectful, and I think that's the whole point. It was very lovely, but I would really like a hug. But this is exactly why I slated my time at Portia, because we're gonna talk about this game, and you know, we're all gonna hug each other. Yeah, this was really, really lovely, and the tiny details just did such a good job. Like the way that the website was laid out and the way that changed and the music fit really nicely. It was just really well done experience. I want to learn about I forgot the name of it already. Crap. I want to learn more about different cultural traditions. Of course I do. I have an anthropology degree. But, like, I want the one where I want to be turned into a tree, make me into a tree when I die, and then put a plaque on it that says, like, here's Lecta, hug the tree or something. And then have my friends come out, or, you know, whoever, and come, like, party at my tree every now and again. Just, like, have a good time. But yeah, this was really, really great. Does anybody have anything else that they would like to say about it before I take a brief break? I think I'm gonna make a mocha. Here lies Lady. Oh my goodness. What if it was Lady space and Donna with a lowercase e? I think I would lose my poop. You like that idea, honestly? Yeah, we learned about in Madagascar, there's people who go to, like, the ancestral crypt and they exhume all of the bodies and all of the bones and they dance with them. And I was like, that's so cool. They, like, just like have a dance party. Like, that's awesome. I thought it was really interesting. Anyway, so yeah, we can continue talking about this unless, I'm just gonna take a really brief break, but I think I'm unembalmed and tree/plant food sounds like what I want to do too. Yeah, and there's options. There's options for that. So I'm gonna make a mocha because I'm flagging today. I'm very, very tired. But I'll yell at you from over there. I'll play some music, and when I'm back at the computer, we'll start my time at Portia. I've never played that game before. And I'm excited to get into it, and it should be it'll continue the mellow day, but a little bit less, a little bit more uplifting. I mean, that was uplifting at the end. Like, that was really lovely. Okay.